How big can you make a probe, or how small can you make a probe? My name is Wade Dewalby, and welcome to another, I should say, science technology stream. Now, I know this might sound a bit strange coming from me. Now, apparently, I wanted to know. Remember that last stream made about the Mars Polar Lander? I've been thinking about those deep space probe too. The deep space probes, Deep Space Two, whatever it's called. I wanted to see what is the smallest lander from Mars, cheapest, smallest, and functional. Now it depends. So if you want to look like that without parachute, the odds of surviving. Reason why I'm sweating is because I've been stimming. It's an autism thing that I have. So if you see some sweat and I'm exhausted, that's because of that. And just just don't worry about it. It's fine. So the smallest probe. Well, that's a hard to ask. I was talking about this for a short while. And I really wanted to just bring out what this was, and at least something. What came up to my mind. Now, how big? Will you use a parachute? So we're going to figure out ways by my smart brain to see if this is correct. All right. All right, so let's look at standard landers on Mars. We have the InSight lander, we have the Phoenix lander. So those are two successes. Schiaparelli, which failed, it thought it already landed, so it turned off its engines. Mars Polar Lander, it failed. Mars 3 failed, but apparently it did transmit. Ooh, Viking 1 and 2. Ooh, Viking 1 and 2, I just figured out from Carl Sagan. He did an intersection that they are radioisotope thermal generators. So I apologize that I thought the Curiosity rover was the first, and I finally found the answer for those two landers. So there you go. There's your answer. So I wanted to know what lander I should pick. There's many types of landers, but let's make my own. We've seen the deep space probes. I really want to make, because I love how they are shaped roundish, and I want to look like that. Instead of a breakable shell, it's going to possibly detach just like, let's go back to Galileo spacecraft, all right? Galileo spacecraft, all right? Now, that point is, as a Galileo spacecraft, it had a probe, and the probe had, it looked just like it. I think it was a bit bigger. Either though, it was the same. Now, if you, gosh darn it, I had this idea. Man. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. No matter what I try, I can't. My brain is just in the mood. Just damn autism. I am sorry. I'm sorry. I can't right now. I'm sorry. I can't. I can't focus. I can't. I don't want to stop. I just have a 4 minutes. It's a stream. Just wait. I'm gonna need some water soon. I'm gonna need some water. I'm gonna need some water soon. Sooner or later, I'm gonna need some water. water is very interesting, and you need to have it like that. And it's a bad choice. Bad stuff happens when that happens, and it's really annoying. All right, let's go back. Since my brain is fresh out, let's go back topic. I'm not done yet. I'm not there, mate. All right, let me turn this down. So, yes, a probe. Let's just say the probe is about this big. Big. But what kind of experiments? We could put a microphone, we could put a camera, which is my favorite. If you put a camera, is my best. Best choice, always camera. Put a camera, colored, no matter what it is, real low, but just make sure that you could see it instead of. It's not going to be a camera. You remember in 1999 or somewhere around there was these Barbie cameras and Nick-Click. You've seen those cameras before. I used to have one of those, and they were Barbie ones. Guess one of my cousins had them, and I can't find it. If I did, I'll definitely show you. But I do have a lot of cell phones from the past. The oldest one is from like 1990. Sheesh, close to 80, but not as far. But still, yeah, I collect cell phones. No matter what they are, I collect cell phones. I know that's kind of weird, but that's just because it's almost going to be 2020. I just recently watched this thing on YouTube, and okay, it's about Venus. Go check it out. I put it on my Venus playlist. If you're really new to this channel and never ever been to YouTube, which you probably have for some reason, unless if you're a teacher and your only goal is to teach kids or something, or you just want to know who I am. I'm not saying, even though I'm autistic, that's fine with me. I lost it again. I guess this topic seems to be very impossible because I can't just bring out of a lander like, hey, look at that. No. There is a lot of hard things, and you could just ask a Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and they will give you an answer. So if I was at Jet Propulsion Laboratory, they'll give me an example. Now, of course, they'll probably give you a lot of examples, which I'm trying to narrow it down to the point. Reason why I want to do this is, heck. Now, remember the Wolf Coyote program that I was trying to do? It's still not canceled. I'm not canceling that. That's pretty good. I think it hasn't maybe changed. I decided the back shell will be protected, but I don't know if I want it on or off because there's going to be a lander that's going to look like Insight, well, except they're not going to have circle solar panels. They're going to be retractable, so shoo. And all those self-clean from dust storms. They close up when there's dust storms, or clean them. And radiators. It's complicated. I did change a little bit, just add some things. So yeah, the smallest probe that I made, which was the Wolf Coyote probes, which I talked about, and they're these big cylinders, and they have fins, and they have a balloon. Maybe it's a vacuum balloon because of carbon monoxide. Those are the smallest I've designed. They're small. Their main goal is to go to the locations of crashed or alive. Coyote will go find rovers and landers that failed or worked or still there. Wolf is going to go to explore terrain. Remember, they have cameras below the cylinder. I do believe I'm going to put like a jet engine in there just for a little thrust. It has solar panels all over it, okay? And the radio antenna is actually in the balloon. Crazy, right? How you get up there? Well, think of it this way. If the balloon is holding up you, then its still weight is the same. The reason why I put the small is because to the weight, I really don't know what is the consequences. And if they say that this program can't, the Wolf Coyote may be canceled permanently because if the balloons can't float on Mars, that is why they will be tested on Earth before they get to Mars. Because I ain't testing them one time. I'm testing those probes multiple times to make sure my probes get on Mars and make sure they work and change some things before we go to Mars. The reason why is to figure out the main goal is to find the Mars Polar Lander. Coyote is going to go right there. It's going to find it. It's going to get cold down there, but since it's actually it's going to be flying about 100 feet. I'm guessing 100 feet. It can't go anywhere else like a mountain, so it has to take direction. It can't go on its Mars. It has to stay at an altitude where the atmosphere is thick enough and buoyant enough. I mean, yeah, has to stay at least where it is, but if it does go too far down, it will stay above. So it still gets close to surface for high resolution images, and it can stay in position. As Wolf, it's going to look for rocks, terrain, heck, even some alien life. People have these little memes that pop out, and they think that there is a mirror that's faced. Aliens are putting a mirror to the Curiosity rover and thinking that that's the terrain or something, like a optical illusion. It's like that thing from Minecraft Story Mode. I never played it. I play Minecraft. I have Minecraft, but I never play Minecraft Story Mode. It's like Mass Effect. I never play Mass Effect. I only seen one playthrough. Actually, one teacher, he looked actually really young, but he was really old. He had a beast computer, he said. He reminded me of my Chris. Oh, cousin aunt, I don't know. Oh, man, messed up. So yeah, not friend, because he's in our family. Chris, my family member, he is a nerd, just like my dad. Except my dad is biased because he wants to work at the top level. I think he is not just a nerd, but beyond the nerd, because even though he started out nerdy, he loved computers. He was a bad boy. My dad, you never see his face. Maybe. I think I should. Maybe I should. He used to have a YouTube channel, but he deleted it and he just got different. But yeah, really, not much has changed over a probe. You're trying to put a small probe on Mars, and at least so yeah, a probe that is at least has a antenna like the deep probes that were designed. I have no idea, but yeah, it's going to be several. I had this idea and I thought this was going to be a great idea, but it seemed like it doesn't work out. I guess I just kept dreaming. But the Wolf Coyote does fit in the design, everything. So yeah, 2 projects, Wearable Spaceplane and the Wolf Coyote. They're pretty much the main. I'm working on other space planes, such as the quote-unquote space plane. I know I'm going to name it something, but I'm not sure. Call it the Terminator, maybe, but I am not clear. But it's going to be like XR5 X Vanguard on Orbiter 2016. There we go. So yeah, except it's going to change a lot. it's going to use the Delta solid rocket boosters from the Delta rocket because they're angled. Wait a minute. Oh, that seemed right. Okay, I guess that's right. I was looking at design and it was wrong, but still, they come out like this, and it's supposed to have a scramjet. I mean, but it's early development. I just thought about this today, so it's really isn't that a work in process. Like the most work in progress is actually the wearable space plane. That one is actually more thought about, and it's even thought about by the internet, but they don't call it that way. I really want to create. So yeah, I'm not going to cancel it. Maybe not, but if things might go okay. I did cancel the whale space plane because how ridiculous my idea was. I mean, it's a great idea, but it might be very expensive. It would just be like a big, 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 big space plane, just big. And it would just look ridiculous. But it might even work, but I'm not going to even say, hey, you should build this. I think that's not going to work. So the whale space plane, I have no sketches because I canceled it. It's supposed to have a huge hangar bay. And supposedly you could fit 4 Dreamer space planes in there. And it's supposed to be having one massive engine that's from the Saturn V rocket, but more powerful. It's in the back, and there's tiny wings. It reminds me of I think there's 3 engines on it. The whale, and it looks like a whale, even though there's no fins on it. The fins are on the middle chassis, maybe on the front. But since I canceled it, I still have that idea. My idea is to have a huge, massive space plane that goes to Mars instead of the wearable space plane, because that space plane is just too fragile, too small. It's only designed to go to the moon. But with the whale space plane, it's an SSTO. It's gonna dominate Skylon if it was built. It would just be a beast. It would be massive. It would be the size of the Hindenburg, but on steroids, basically, because it would be made of pure metal instead of that and no hydrogen. Or they had the Hindenburg that blew up. I still like that because doesn't mean that it's from the German. Doesn't mean that I'm German. So don't think like that. It actually was founded by the Germans because the Germans and that stuff, and Hitler had a lot of money. It worked out. And it was a really cool ship. It came here. So even though political things were going on, the war, it came here. But it was a massive engineering and so much. It was like a freaking mothership. It had everything. I think it had a pool in there. It was like a Titanic in the skies, which I used to love that movie, by the way. Yeah, my mom says I love it. But now I used to like ships. I still do. But think about launching a rocket on a boat. People have done that. Some of them failed. Even the United States Air Force even put underwater launches, but they canceled the program because we're focusing on, I think, the Constellation program to the moon. I don't think Obama canceled it. I think pretty much everybody agreed that it was ridiculous. So, but some gonna blame it on him. Although he did the speech when the Curiosity rover, but I bet they begged President Obama just to please. I guess because he signed even the vice president. Okay, all right. I know I'm going to go into political things, but for reasons only. If you don't like it, just leave. But if you like it and just, that's fine. So, my mom is really good at talking about things. and about explaining things. She's like a freaking politician. She wanted to be a politician, but she couldn't. That's why she went to the mine instead of being a politician, or I don't know, but it's somewhere around there. That's why she's really good at even evidence. She's really good at focusing on evidence. Unlike my dad, he's like, just he's good at work, but he's not good with social with our family. When he comes here, my mom just told me about this. I don't think I'm going to have to talk about most of things because it's basically private. So I'm not going to talk about anything else between my dad and my mom and me. I'm sorry. I have to put it private. I'm so sorry. It's just in case my mom gets triggered, there's probably something that would happen just in case. But for now, I'm going to have to pick a private because dad may see this. He'll see. So I'm just not going to say anything. I do miss him sometimes, but I do not regret him taking our Jeep. But I had to drive the car because my mom was paralyzed or something. No, I wasn't. Fine. She was sleepy because she was stabbed with something, and I don't know. No violence intended. No violence. No violence intended. So, we're talking about Mars. You know what? Screw Mars. I mean, don't screw it. Elon's gonna kill me. No, you won't, because he loves people like you. You'll be okay. That's kind of weird. People like me. Me? Hey, I should be out there. But I'm not. I'm about basically zero population of me. You search me, Wade William Warner, and I search my name, my real name, everything, and I'm not even in there. I'm 18. I need to get myself out there. Is it because I'm autistic and people don't want to find my information? I want people just to know who I am. I don't like to hide in the cloud. I love to just bring my face out and just bring it to know who I am. That's why I do this. I am not shy when it comes to people. Except there's so many people in the room, it gets me frustrated. But as long as they're far away, I can stream. That's why I do this. But FaceTime, whatever. Why am I doing this? Maybe it's an autistic thing. I do it sometimes. Yeah, when I'm happy, like this. No, seriously. I do that at work. You may see me. I look like a girl. No, you're not a girl. Oh. Wow, this is terrible. How long is even? Well, I got work tomorrow. It's like so windy out, by the way. I forgot to mention that. Man, I remember it snowed. But this, I'm gonna try to record once time. All right, I think I'm gonna play. Hang on, turn this. I'm going to play something interesting. Something very bizarre. The bizarre things that creatures lurk into the night. Is it a werewolf? Whatever. A werewolf wants to kill you and said, I don't kill. I like people. Oh, why are you shooting me? You're evil, you're ugly. I don't look at the wolves. Actually, in real life, a lot of people think that wolves are just a big bad wolf, but they're really not. As long as you don't act stupid, and what I mean stupid is try to challenge them. forcing them. If you like put them in a corner, poke at them, just let them. They'll come to you eventually. Um, but there has to be. They might get skittish, but it will come close. Coyotes, no. Coyotes, they won't bother humans. They just like little critters because they're tiny. Wolves don't like coyotes. They just don't like each other. They just fight. They don't like each other. And then you got the fox, which are harmless to humans. Harmless. They're just like. And when I remember I saw a dead fox at Bridges, and I cried. I literally cried. Coyotes came over and killed the fox, and that was the first time I saw a fox in a long time, but it was dead. Um, it looked really healthy. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was maybe it was poisoned by something. I don't know, but it looked like maybe it was injured. Maybe, but I tasted deer meat before because technically my mom isn't a hunter, but my mom loves nature. My mom loves horses. If you say anything about horses, she would just be like interested in every word you say about horses because she loves them. Would you like werewolves or wallabies or marsupials? But I'm most likely the werewolves and possibly the wolves and foxes and one of those little critters, coyotes. Even though coyotes look ugly, they're still in the canine thing, and sometimes they're really small. They have big ears. If you look at them really closely, you can see the difference between a wolf. The wolf is more fluffy and thick, while the coyote sometimes a little bit thick, but they're really small. I've seen coyotes before, but it was a brief darkness at Scott Air Force Base. Yeah, we the nearest Air Force Base is Scott Air Force Base, which they had a lot of missions. I remember. I don't know. I've been there. Even my grandpa, that's his job. When my mom's dad, he died from cancer or bone marrow transfer because he had cancer. And we're 1999 or 1998. They were going to cure him, but they got the wrong thing, and he went to a coma, and they had to pull the plug. Can you guys salute my grandpa Chester? He was great. He went a lot of places, and um, but his wife was a doctor. Nanny, she's still alive. I call her Nanny, but her name's Shelby. You may have seen her, but I don't have it on here. I just have me and, but yeah, she doesn't care as long as I tell her. But yeah, um, uh, oh wait a minute. I have streamed on at Nina's house before. It's called the yeah. Um, what am I even doing? What does it take to find a man that wants to just find you? Oh, I really want to play my keyboard, but I can't because I'm trying to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to use a laptop. It can't take Mac laptop, so I'm going to have to go with the old Volvo laptop. That thing has no battery. And I'm going to have to use a plug to literally act like a computer. And what I'm going to do is, hopefully, I will plug it in. This will be the first time that I will use a computer and see what options they are. I have a fancy Yamaha keyboard. My mom wants me to play it. And it is an amazing beast. It's amazing. My mom got it for a Christmas present compared to my Casio keyboard because I was so good at music, and I'm so good, but still a bit by myself. I I play it when nobody's around, but I would definitely play it for you guys because for some reason I just don't want to play with around my mom because it just makes my autism. My autism does not like that. I'm gonna try. I just get embarrassed, but even though my mom loves it, I get embarrassed. It's something else. If you're a doctor, you probably will feel something, and I would love to. If you're a doctor or a person that needs to know about autism, I'm here because I'll give you information. So I'm pretty much as second as Harry Templeton. You know, that girl. You know, she, the famous one. Yeah, she's the one that actually finally taught us what autism was and what feel like. There's only a rare piece of kids or people like me that are really intelligent. Of course, she was a farmer, so I'm an astronomer and I'm also a rocket scientist. I know about rockets, and I'm pretty much her best. I feel like, I mean, of course, the medicine helps me. That's why I don't sometimes don't look autistic, but you can still see some weird things that a person would not think. So yeah, medicine helps me. And I'm also have antidepressant because of YouTube. So that's gonna be permanent. That's gonna leave a mark. It already did. So mark in my face. Basically, a screw went in my head and cranked it all the way into my brain. That's what it feels like. Actually, everywhere. It feels like nails are just stabbing on my head. I feel like I can't, like, it's just, I mean, it's not in pain, but, I just want to do that, but it's impossible because if you do that, you'll die, and I don't want to die. I want to make the future. No, I did still sleep. I'm gonna have to go home, so I'll see you guys in the next live stream. I'm sorry I didn't talk about Mars that much, but whatever. It was better off the other side.